This is a Power Mac G5. It came from the TV station, long retired. I do have an old picture of it from when it was in service that I can show you here. If I had to guess, this was probably used for video editing way back in the day at the station. And it's here temporarily today for me to pull any data off it, and then we're probably going to try to sell it. I could probably buy this thing if I wanted it. If it were a G3 or G4, hell yeah, I'd procure it. But G5s just kind of suck. There's really not a lot of love for a Power Mac G5. It's unfortunately one of those machines that's too old to be useful, but not old enough to be interesting. For example, this can't run Mac OS 9. Mac OS 9 support was dropped in the middle of the Power Mac G4's lifespan. And the other thing is that G5s just kind of suck. The Power Mac G5 is loud because there has to be a ton of airflow because G5 CPUs get so hot. They're basically the Prescott Pentium 4s of the PowerPC CPUs. And they belt out a ton of heat. A big joke about these computers is that they're very efficient space heaters. And yeah, that's just not something that's useful to me. This particular machine is a dual CPU quad-core machine, 1.8 gigahertz. It is air-cooled, it's not liquid-cooled, which is probably why it's still presumably working today. This hasn't been powered on since it was retired, so we'll find out if it still works, but I would be surprised if it doesn't. Because if you don't know the liquid-cooled G5s that came later, because they got so hot that it wasn't enough to air-cool them anymore. The liquid-cooled G5s had an issue with the coolant lines rupturing, leaking coolant, and the coolant Apple used was so corrosive that it just destroys the aluminum case and the motherboard. Whatever it touches, it just annihilates. It was very corrosive coolant. But this one's air-cooled. Very iconic case design though. That was certainly a good development of the G5. This case design was carried over to the Mac Pro, and it stayed that way until 2012. So this was the case design of Apple's desktop computers from 2003 to 2012. 9 years. That's pretty darn impressive. How you can tell it's a G5 and not a Mac Pro is the single optical drive bay. Mac Pro has 2 optical drive bays. There's your power button, headphone socket, USB, and FireWire. Oh, by the way, your eyes don't deceive you. New coffee table. I actually rescued this. My neighbor left it for dead next to the dumpster. And all that was wrong with it was one of these sideboards had come unglued. I glued it back together. It's absolutely perfect and flawless. So yeah, really nice new coffee table. The other coffee table's in my bedroom now. 4 expansion slots. 3 of the 3 unused expansion slots are PCI X, not PCI Express, PCIe. It's PCI X, which was an old workstation expansion card standard. There is one PCI Express slot, and it's used for the video card, which looks like it has 2 DVI ports, but upon closer inspection, it's got 1 DVI port, and then this special port, which is probably DVI combined with power output, given that it says 25 volts, 4 amps max. That was probably for Apple's studio display or cinema display, the LCD display that could be powered directly from the computer. 2 exhaust fans. It's got antenna jacks for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I'm not sure if this has an airport card or a Bluetooth card installed. Optical audio in and out. Standard audio in and out. 2 more USB. Another FireWire 400, a FireWire 800, Ethernet, and a modem. And there's your power socket. So to get inside the machine, pull this lever. Unlocks like that. Cover comes off. Solid aluminum cover, very heavy. And then this plastic insert comes out. They had to put this plastic insert here to aid with airflow, directing airflow to help cool the CPUs. So there's your dual G5 CPUs, massive heat sinks, you can see. There's your PCI X slots and the one PCI Express slot with the video card. Optical drive. We've got two SATA hard drives, fan there, two fans here. Interesting fans, they only have 3 blades on them. Then 2 fans here, a fan there. So many fans, and it needed every one of them. Modular design, just unplugs, theoretically. There we go. So there's your fans. There's your RAM slots. It has 1 GB of DDR RAM and big motherboard. There's the pram battery, might or might not still be good. Now let's see if this thing fires up. So I'll button it back up. I'll find a monitor and DVI to VGA adapter to hook up to it. Keyboard and mouse, and we'll see if this thing still works. Alright, for our peripherals. First of all, you haven't seen this monitor before. This is a Sony model SDM S51 from 2001. 15-inch LCD monitor. Bought it for pocket change at the thrift store. It takes a special 12-volt power input, and I didn't get the power brick with it, so I opened it up, hacked out the power connector, and I soldered in a cigarette lighter cord, which is hardwired to it. So this thing's going to be powered by the Newmar 12-volt linear power supply back there. We've got a Dell Quiet Key keyboard connected via a PS2 to USB adapter, and a Microsoft USB optical mouse. Because if you don't know, all Macs since the original iMac don't give a crap what you use for a keyboard and mouse. If it's USB, it doesn't care. So, we're plugged in. It made a clunking sound when I plugged it in, some sort of solenoid in the power supply. Let's see if it explodes when I turn it on. Oh, the light's dimmed. That's good. Power light's on. Monitors coming to life. Wow, I can hear the hard drives. The SATA, even though they're modern SATA hard drives, they actually have bearing noise. That's funny. I'm gonna guess she's running 10.5, since this was used quite late into the lifespan of a G5. It's probably running the latest version of Mac OS it can support. But I could be wrong, we'll find out. Oh, it is loading. I hear the hard drives chattering. Man, those are the loudest SATA hard drives I've ever heard. I would think we should be getting the Apple logo by now. Oh, the monitor's not even responding to the button control. Maybe the monitor's frozen. Is the monitor frozen? Do I gotta power cycle it? No? Did my monitor go bad? It worked when I last tested it, when I first got it. Well, I don't know what's going on. Okay, I hooked the 21-incher up and we're getting video now. So either it was outputting a resolution or something that this one didn't like, or this monitor has bit the dust. Oh, look at that. Wow, that actually booted up really fast. Well, let's take our peripherals over and take a look, see what we got. Okay, so I can see that we're running 10.4 by the looks of it. 10.4.11. Okay, let's see if it'll identify the keyboard. Press the key immediately to the right of the shift key. That would be Z. Press the key once, do not hold down the key. Press the key to the left of the shift key on the right side of the keyboard. Okay, that's question mark. This keyboard has been identified. It is an ANSI keyboard. Alright, let me go into the settings And we'll see if it'll push the full 1600 by 1200. Oh, I bet it will. Yes, it will. Hey, now we're cooking with gas. It even says Sync Master. Nice. Okay. So, what have we got on here? How big are the hard drives in this thing? I think they're 250s. Two 250s. Yeah, that's a 250. It's only got 9 gigs available. Wow. There's a lot of stuff on this. What about this one? That's 250. And it also only has 10 gigs available. Wow. This thing was used until 2014. Wow. And also I think the clock battery still works. Yes, it does. It has the right date and almost the right time. Holy moly. This thing was used till 2014, and it's a computer from like 2004 or 5. That's pretty impressive. I'm guessing this is a video file live type. What is live type? Can we play whatever this is? Oh, cool. Wow, this thing's actually pretty fast. Charlotte County Artisans. So yeah, this was a video editing machine in its day. Wow. Okay. Well, clearly there's a lot of, oh, news. Is this an old copy of the news? Oh, this is really old. That's really old. That's from like 2012 or 13. There is going to be a ton of stuff to archive off this. Actually, the easiest thing to do will probably just be to pull the drives out of it. He's got a SATA to USB adapter hooked up to the iMac at the station. Here we go. 26 ident. This is probably CHCT because it's dated 2008. That's a very early to mid 2000s TV ident. I love it. Well, cool. This thing seems to be working just fine. Now I have to figure out if my Sony monitor back there died. If it did, fair enough. I'll just toss it. That's one more thing I can get out of the horde of stuff here. Well, anyway, there you go. A Power Mac G5, dual 1.8 gigahertz, air-cooled, 2 gigs of RAM running 10.4, full of historical CHCO and CHCT goodies. So I'll be bringing this thing back to the station. We'll haul the hard drives out of it, pull all the goodies off it, and then we'll probably try and sell this. G5s are not very desirable in the grand scheme of vintage Macs, but there might be someone out there who wants it, who would give us. Then again, the shipping would just destroy it, so Who knows? But we'll try anyway. So there you go. There's a look at a long retired, woken up from its sleep Power Mac G5 full of old vintage, or at least old, television goodness. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Nope. She dead. Oh my god, knocking it on the floor fixed it. Wow, that's percussive maintenance at its finest.